Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today's topic is going to be stop listening to these people. Seriously, stop. So let's take a couple of nice deep breaths. Had an interesting day of group coaching today. Had a power outage that interrupted each of my group sessions. Fun stuff. They're doing maintenance on the street, so the whole neighborhood shut down. Anyway. Time to calm down, get centered for this video. Breathe in the peace, exhale the stress, the tension. Breathe in the belief, exhale the doubt and the uncertainty. All right, so stop listening to these people. For anybody who's got chronic symptoms, chronic pain, there are a whole host of quote-unquote support groups all over the web, primarily Facebook, that talk about these variety of different symptoms. Could be various neuralgias, pudendal, trigeminal, could be, pelvic pain support groups, could be interstitial cystitis, it could be fibromyalgia, it could be even just generic back pain or herniated disc support groups. It could be CRPS, complex regional pain syndrome. It could be central sensitization. And there are all sorts of support groups that frankly are anything but supportive. Because in many of these, I'll say in these groups, they've been told by their doctors that the best we can do is manage the pain. They've been sent to pain management. So learn to live with it. They've received these messages over and over and over again. And these people, through no fault of their own, they end up creating or finding these support groups where these belief systems that say management's the best you can do, there is no cure, tend to multiply and promulgate. And unfortunately, that entire community takes on a sense of hopelessness, despair. And when you start to come into these groups and start to suggest that, there's this thing called mind-body syndrome, TMS, and people are getting better, in some cases you're attacked, almost viciously. It's almost like they think you're telling them that they're crazy, they're imagining their pain, that their pain's not real. And those communities really have a sense of despair and suffering and victimhood that's tough to really participate in or escape once you are deep into it, once you've accepted those beliefs as your own. So when I say the topic of this video is stop listening to these people, I really mean it. Because if you've been in the TMS world for any length of time, you know more than these people do about how this system, this brilliant system called the human body, the brain, the nervous system, works. And there is a way out. And following my videos, I get people all the time telling me that, and just watching the free stuff, I'm getting better. There's people with months, years, decades worth of pains getting better. People with supposedly incurable things getting better. So if you are in these groups, you got to get out. Delete, remove from those groups. And there's no positive outcome to spending time with people who believe they're broken and are now trying to convince you that you're broken. Because if you ask them and say, I'm following some of these neural retrainings and, this TMS approach, they're literally going to stop and tell you, no, you don't understand. Management, yeah, that's possible, but a cure? No way. And so stop listening to these people. These people are literally with you in the pool, and they are holding your head underwater. and you're wondering why you can't breathe and why you're struggling. You got to get out of these toxic, quote-unquote, support groups, because they are nothing supportive. There's nothing about them that is supportive. And I feel for these people, and I love these people, and I wish they would kind of come over onto the mind-body side of the equation here, because in our world, there is a way out. If the brain can learn to become highly sensitized and hypervigilant, it can learn to be calmed down. What does it take? Consistent messages of safety. And I'm sorry, no offense to the people in these groups, but there's nothing about safety in those groups. It's all about, tried this treatment, didn't work. That drug didn't work. Withdrawal didn't work, got worse. Went to this clinic, got worse. Nothing about that says anything remotely close to safety and comfort and well-being and recovery. It's all about everything they've tried and nothing's worked. They're wrong. I hate to say it, and I'm saying this with as much love as I can for these communities of people who are truly, truly suffering. But they're wrong. There is a way out. And it's not Dan's way out. Discovered by Dr. John Sarno. And the work has been followed up by some amazing people. Howard Schubner, Dr. Howard Schubner, Dr. David Clark, Dr. Hanscom, real medical doctors, David Schechter, Alan Gordon, Nicole Sachs, Hannah Studley, myself, and there's others, Danny Fagan, Georgie Oldfield. These are some of the folks in the TMS community that are seeing what some people would call miraculous recoveries, but we're seeing it on a daily basis. None of this stuff surprises any of the names that I've just mentioned. It's really possible to get better. And if the brain can learn to turn up the pain based on perceived dangers, it can learn to turn it off. It doesn't matter if you've got one symptom or 20, you can turn it off. So I'm going to really strongly encourage you to stop listening to people who are telling you how broken you are and that you cannot get better, because they're wrong. You can. There's a way out. You're looking at it. And it is so funny because I use that term a lot, and I laugh to myself because that's the book that Alan Gordon just put out, The Way Out. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten through it yet. I have a copy on my nightstand. In any event, the approach that I lay out for you in these videos is a way to recover. I have a full-blown course. Watch the videos. Implement the videos. Everything I do in my course is gearing towards not getting rid of symptoms, because that's focusing on the symptoms and keeping those neural pathways going, but it's teaching your brain safety. That's my whole approach. And when you teach your brain you're safe, over and over again, I see people who've had symptoms for years, decades, start to have better days, pain-free days, first time in years, decades. And they're going, holy crap, I don't believe it. Consistent messages of safety, and one of the strongest, most powerful messages of safety is indifference. Literally getting to the point where you can authentically say, okay, I have symptoms today. So what? Whatever. Don't care. I'm not concerned. And I hear it over and over again. I heard it a couple of times tonight in the group sessions I run. Indifference was the thing that made the most difference. And so, if you want some help, painforyou.com/join. Stop listening to the people who believe you're broken and will do everything in their power to convince you that you're broken. How about listening to people like myself and those other names I mentioned that believe in your potential to get better? Which one would you rather listen to? Somebody who thinks you can get better, or somebody who thinks you're screwed? Stop listening to those types of people. They mean well. They're stuck. They're struggling. They feel like there's no way out. But they don't know what they don't know. And don't try to convince them otherwise. They need to come to it on their own. And if you want to experiment with it, just drop a Sarno book in the comments and see how quickly you get attacked. It's amazing. And even inside, I can hear that, what do they call it? The horned owl. So I'm hearing an owl hooting outside, which is beautiful. Love it. Anyway, please don't listen to people who tell you that you're broken. I'm here to tell you that you're not. And all the other folks I just mentioned are also here to tell you that you're not. You're not broken physically, mentally, or emotionally. Your nervous system is not too shot to recover because there's nothing physically damaged or wrong with it. It's just learned to become more and more highly sensitized and vigilant. And if it can learn to do that, it can learn through consistent messages of safety to dial down and settle down. Got an email from somebody today who said over the past 4.5 years they had 80 to 100 different symptoms. And they said most of them have either gone away completely or have settled down massively. And they were really only asking about one symptom, which they were still a little doubtful of. But otherwise, they got rid of 80 to 100 symptoms. So I do believe recovery is not only possible, but likely and probable for you if you can embrace the fact that it's possible, believe that, and then follow a proven path to teach the brain, which controls the whole system, that you're okay. If all you do is feed your brain information that says, I can't get better, nobody else has it this bad, nobody else is getting better, your brain's not going to dial down the pain because you're teaching it danger. You're teaching it that you're broken. And I know you're not doing it because you want to, but it's driven by fear. Well, fear is one of the two major fuel sources for pain and symptoms. So we got to dial down the fear. Stop listening to people who are giving you buckets full of fear every time you go into those groups. For support, you come out feeling worse and more broken and more in despair. Please stop listening to these people. They mean well, but they're doing you harm. So, I love you. I know you can get better. Please believe that. And listen to the people, not just me, but the other names I've mentioned. Listen to them, because they believe in you too. So, with that, I'm going to wrap this up. Have a fantastic day. If you want some help, join the group coaching I do. Got an amazing group of people in there. painforyou.com/join. I'll see you in there. You got nothing to lose but the symptoms. So, we'll see you soon. Love you.